So, before we start, I just want to say that there's a difference between expanding and improving your music taste. Expanding your music taste means listening to more genres and artists, while improving it is subjective. If you're listening to more artists that you already like, I guess that could be considered improving it in your own standards, or if you want to impress girls or whatever the fuck, you know who I'm talking about, the guy who listened to Daniel Caesar and Drake and swears he knows like all their songs but can't name more than 5 songs of like Take Care. And I can't tell you how to improve your music taste because that's subjective. Well, there is one exception, Taylor Swift. We know that she's fucking shit, laziest artist I've ever seen. No, like genuinely, like I'm not even making fun of it. This is actually a true criticism that has come out of many music reviewers. So I don't think I have any Taylor Swift fans watching this, but if I do, just know that you're literally the most garbage slop on the act in fucking Spotify. Um, it's literally just made to get listens. So I don't know, man. There's literally no emotion in her music. So yeah. Um. So before I start again, I can't tell you how to improve your music taste. I can only tell you how to expand it because this is a very cool thing I've been trying to do for the past year. And in case you want some credentials from me, this is not a job interview, but just saying I've listened to most of Drake's, J. Cole's, Kanye's, and Kendrick's discography last year. I started listening to Radiohead and also some Aphex Twin along with Pink Floyd because I'm trying to diversify out of listening to rap, and I just want to share my method of how I've been listening to them while actually liking the music and liking the songs that are usually gate kept. Because let's be honest, those reels on Instagram or TikTok that say that, oh my god, guys, I think it's one of the most underrated song of a good album. Yeah, no, they're not telling you the actual bangers. They're just telling you like whatever the fuck is already there, like what is already known. They're just feeding you the same information back to you again. But yeah, forget that. So let's move on to step one. Find the artist. Now, if you spent your entire life listening to pop music or stuff that comes on the radio or social media, I think it's a good idea to start out with artists that you've seen in these popular songs, and I'll tell you why. Indie music is quite an acquired taste, okay? And now, when I say indie music, I don't mean like a really unknown album from a popular artist. I mean albums just from generally unknown artists. And the reason I think why these artists are so indie is because of the style of music. Now, indie music has pretty much lost its entire meaning in modern culture. Anything can be called indie now if it's just random 14-year-olds doing bullshit in their basement. And I can't disagree. I guess it is indie music, but not really. So I'd say don't start out with a less popular artist because then you might be conditioned to not like listening to discographies. So if you start listening to some 2017 made band called the Raging Edgers, example, I'm not calling out any bands, made by some 15-year-olds in their mom's basement trying to make her the hood or something, you might think that all music is like that. And I can't call these 15-year-olds in the basement bad per se. Again, this is a hypothetical, so I haven't actually listened to this music. But every band has to start somewhere, right? And usually it's not good to invest in a band or an artist just because they're niche. You should like them if you like the music. Don't support them just because they're like indie artists that like your friends are supporting. If you like the music, support them. If you don't like the music, don't. Just move on with your day. Alright, but you should support me because I'm niche. I low key. The subscribe button is right there. Okay, so shameless plug. Just, if you want to do that, then do it. Whatever. But for a good first pick, I'd say pick an artist maybe in the top 200 of Spotify. Something like Drake or U2. Or I'm not sure about like the classic rock or whatever, but even bands like Radiohead or like Pink Floyd, if you're into that. Something just popular, but you have to promise me this. Listen to all the albums. And that brings us on to step 2. forget individual songs. Just listen to albums or collections or EPs or whatever, right? The people, like amount of people I've seen not listening to albums and pretending like they know all the gate kept songs, the ones that are actually special and amazing. It's insane, bro. They just end up not knowing jack shit about the artist, any like actual ball knowledge about the artist. Like, you cannot tell me that someone who hasn't listened to at least 3 or 4 Kanye albums, like not simultaneously, but it, from start to finish, is actually a Kanye fan. I mean, there's so many posers just because Kanye is Kanye. But I'm not saying Kanye is a bad artist or that you're a bad person for listening to only Kanye's most popular songs. Popular songs are popular for a reason. But I think that you can't call yourself a fan of an artist or a super fan if you haven't at least listened to 3 or 4 albums of theirs, like, from start to finish. If they don't have that many albums, if you get into new albums, if you're into that sort of stuff, then maybe some live performances. They probably have some recordings of live performances or other unreleased music that you can listen to. So listen to like whatever you can, whatever is available from the band or artist you're trying to get into. The purpose of albums in music is to give you an experience that spans between multiple songs, not just stuck at one song. Maybe like 50 to 60 minutes, that's what the average length of an album is. Some can range like 30 minutes, some can be like 2 or more hours. I can't give you like a proper estimate, but yeah, albums are cool, okay? It's meant to give you an experience. It's not meant for you to listen to only like the popular songs that just blew up because of like TikTok or whatever it was like back in the 2000s and 1990s or whatever, right? You're meant to listen to the entire album and understand the message of what the artist is trying to communicate. I think that's the most important takeaway you can take from an album. If you understand the message, or if you understand like a general tone of the album, I think you've successfully listened to it and understood it. It doesn't really matter. This is more just like extra credit, but I feel it's important just so that you can, feel like you're connected with the artist. Okay. Now step 3, make your playlist. I've been suffering from this recently, and I think a lot of people also do this. When you listen to an album and you miss the peak songs, like you're listening to them but you forget to add them to your playlist because you're just too, I guess, immersed in the album. This only happens with like 10 out of 10 albums. This happened to me with OK Computer, In Rainbows, and Graduation. Those are just a few notable examples of 10 or 10 albums I've listened to that I forgot to add like the peak songs from. And normally what you end up doing is that you just end up re-listening to the album to find the bangers. Now, I'm not saying don't be immersed in the album, but I'm also saying like don't sleep through it. Like on the bus, I've tried to sleep through so many albums because it's relaxing, right? But you just end up missing out on the songs that are like amazing, and then if like either just randomly pick them for your playlist or you just, I don't know, you just listen to the album again, which again, some albums are just, they're not good the second time you listen to them. And for the 4th step, find artists that are like them but not completely carbon copies. For example, if you like Drake, I wouldn't say go for Party Next Door because they make sort of the same style of rap, more melodic shit and all that. And I'd say instead maybe listen to some J. Cole or some Kanye. That's some really good shit. So listen to that. And you can just repeat steps 1, 2, and 3 with them if you like them. A little tip I have for you is at least listen to one album before you make a concrete decision whether you like an artist or not. Don't listen to the most popular album because those albums are popular for a reason. Listen to something that's like niche, but it's not too niche. If you're deciding whether you like J. Cole, for example, maybe listen to something like Born Sinner or his first album. Don't listen to 2014 Forest Hills Drive because that's something people know is good. So you already know that it's good. So why would you base something, an objective decision, or something that's clearly pointed towards yes. Because let's be honest, if the first album of any artist, no matter how bad they were, was as good as 2014 Forest Hills Drive, I feel like you will still like the artist, right? If you only listen to that one album. But, and the last optional step, or the fifth step, I think you should do this, is listen to other genres, which are completely different from what you listen to right now. For example, if you listen to rap or hip hop, listen to maybe rock or alt rock or metal, or if you listen to metal, listen to rap, like vice versa. It can go either way, but I think rock and rap are probably two of the easiest genres to listen to. I mean, I listen to a lot of house music, specifically Daft Punk, rap, rock, and some electronic music as well. Some Geometry Dash music, believe it or not, that shit actually slaps. And I've noticed that rap and rock are probably the two easiest genres to get into. So if you're already starting to get into list of music, like by album and expanding your taste, then just listen to those genres, and eventually other genres of music that are less mainstream and more indie will start. They'll start to grow on you naturally. And for these, you can just repeat steps 1, 2, 3, and 4 for these genres. It's an infinite loop. You will never run out of music to listen to. Because I hear people say, "Oh, I've ran out of Kanye's songs to listen to because I've listened to his entire discography." But there's so many artists out there that are similar to Kanye West, or something that you might enjoy aside from Kanye West, that you can listen to. So just listen to it, you know. But no matter what you're listening to, just know that you can always explore more music and you should listen to it. Music generally makes everything better. I just can't describe the effect that music has had on me. It's just amazing. It's not too distracting like videos or other forms of media, but at the same time, it's there. It's beautiful. It adds flavor to your life. But alright, guys, that was a little bit of a big tangent slash rant today. If you enjoyed it, please do subscribe. I am currently preparing for my exams right now, and this is very, very stressful recording this video because I'm doing my math homework. Well, it's not really homework, it's more like a self-assigned task to learn the fucking material, and I don't remember anything. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this, and bye. Thank you for watching like the entire video.